Let's do 7:15 if that's cool.
Oh yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Yeah, no worries, dude. So, da-da-da-da-da. Matthew!
Hi.
Hi, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
This is the beginning of this chat, and we haven't had any conversation up to now, so that was a genuine greeting. So it's all good.
I just hit the answer phone call button.
Just now. Yep, recording already started, and then 1 second later. Anyway, so Matthew, my friend, it's exactly, yeah, can't wait. What is your character's name?
Jed.
Jedediah. Jedediah. I always say. Cool. Well, who is Jed? Because like I said, these are gonna be on TikTok, so we gotta tell the folks a little bit about us. So who is Jed?
Jed is no, I think I'm 19 at the moment. I don't know. Time's weird on.
I was saying in this situation, are you? But anyway.
Am I? I don't know. When I started the journey, Jed is a 19-year-old human of nobility, I guess. Not like royal, but up there. And I'm from the other continent that I can never remember the name of ever.
Oh yeah, Alderman.
Yeah.
It's a homebrew thing. It's okay. I'm not hurt about it.
I'm bad about remembering.
You're kidding.
But he's from there, and he he just wanted to go on an adventure. His father wanted him to be just something more, and basically he always wanted to be a musician, and his dad wanted him to go in a different direction in a loving way, but he kind of was like, no. And in one of the episodes, the prequel almost, you find out that his dad in the end kind of gave him a blessing to go off and do his adventures after he kind of butted heads very slightly, nothing too egregious, with his father. And this is his first adventure by himself as a bard. He trained with his teachers that his parents paid for to learn how to play music and to get into the lore of things, and to go deep into poetry and to music. And he's always wanted to entertain people and just kind of show up and just intermingle.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure he got word of this ship that's going to the new land, and he thought, new land, new me. I'm going to go make a name for myself. I want to be the adventurer. I almost thought about, and this is for you, Doug, I almost thought about crossing him with a fighter, because he takes such a fighter approach to things. I was going to multi-class into it, but then I'm like, no, let's stay with the bard, because
fair enough.
I finally got that. I haven't gotten to use it. You let us level up, and I finally leveled up. And I took one of the spells, one of the things with my class or subclass. I actually, I took it said something. I don't have my book in here. It basically was like, once you get to this level of bard in this subclass, you can learn any spell. You can pick 2 spells of this level of any class, like any class. You can go to the spells and you can pick one. And I was like, fireball. I'm getting fireball.
That's honestly, man, with how you've been playing so far, I respect it. I trust you.
I was
maybe
like,
but I do.
No, but I was like, Jed's always wanted a weapon. I found something else out. My little 15-foot Thunderwave. Yeah, that's a 15-foot box in front of me, not around me.
Oh, okay.
So I can shoot it 15 feet out. I did some reading on some rules, and I talked to another DM. That's no offense, really seasoned.
No, yeah.
I'm not.
Okay. I ain't sensitive in that way. You're good.
But he was like, no, it's not. It would say from you. It's not from you. It's in the way it's worded. It's not coming out of me. It's in front of me, and I can decide where the cube is, if it goes to my side or the left, or it can center on me if I want it to.
Okay.
I suppose, but it's supposed to go in front. So I was like, okay,
That's good. That's good to know. I'm glad we got that figured out because I
Because
know
now,
a couple times that came up.
well, there's been times where I've hit people because they're
Mhm.
in the cube and I can't get
Yeah.
them out of the cube because it's like just around me. So I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
can use this. I can be like, Doug, I did the math. But yeah, so that's Jed's just a adventure one. Now he's a seasoned freaking badass. Like
Yeah.
those caves changed Jed, and I don't know. We keep joking, but I feel like Jed was down there for like 20 years. It felt like Jed was down there for so long. I
I
know
have
it was
not.
only a few
In all fairness, I have not disclosed how long you were in those caves
Dude,
in real time.
I felt
Um.
there's been two instances where I felt like I was Doctor Strange saying Dormammu, I've come
Yeah.
to like, and it was in the caves,
I'm the bargain.
and it was freaking right there with basically the devil himself. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, I don't know how many times this has gone on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's Jed.
Uh,
Oop,
the
cut out.
vision experience that was casted on you guys in the forest. There was a couple instances of what appeared as and what actually were time loops to some degree. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that throwing you a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, parts of it I'm still figuring out because I'm like, I have the power to choose here. You know, like in some cases I'm not sure. In other cases I have an answer. But that kind of segues into another question I was going to ask you, which is so far in Jed's journey and whatever, you guys have met a decent number of NPCs throughout the thing. Um, is there one or two in particular that like were especially meaningful or significant to Jed as a character or to you as a player, either sense? And I feel like I know one of them, so I didn't mean to plant it, but but I feel like I mean, you're gonna have more to it.
Well, who do you think it was, or like is one of mine?
I think one of the first video evidences of an NPC reveal to Jed was significant to you as a player.
Oh yeah.
Um, so that might not have been on your list at all, and that's perfectly okay because I
Oh,
definitely want to see where you're coming from.
so there's two that I can think of, and it was one, Squibbish, right? That
Mhm.
I always forget his name, and then I remember it, and then
Yeah.
I forget it, and then I remember it. But Squibbish was one because the thing was, is you described him, and I was like, and then you
Hmm.
were like, you said his name, you're like, it's Squibbish, and I was like, and then you were like, this is what he looks like, and
Yeah.
I was like, I know who
placing
that is. I was
placing a
like, oh,
fictional face to a fictional name, it can be a little tricky sometimes.
well, I played a few sessions with him as the helper, and it was so funny because he was just like a helper, and
Yeah.
he was just in there for goofs and gaffs and like a filler, and it was fun. And then when you
Hmm.
popped him back in and made him like a meaningful character that kind of drove a little bit of the story, it was very fun to go,
Yeah.
oh, I know who that is.
Hmm.
Why is he here? This is very interesting. And then, without him giving anything away, he was just like, yeah, so I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
these friends that I don't have anymore because they're not here anymore. And it's just like, dang,
Hmm.
okay, that's very cool of you to do. Like, and then he was just like, I'm gonna go with the water now. See you later. Like,
Yep.
no, okay.
Yeah.
I get why.
Mhm.
The hardest hitting one though, and I'm not saying that wasn't the hardest thing, but the hardest
No,
hitting
no,
one
no, please.
that gripped me in your story. I mean, I've been gripped, but you freaking snagged me out of the air. I was just like floating over, like this is just fun D&D, and we're having fun with the boys. And then you like snagged
Mhm.
me out of the air, and you brought me down, and you beat me in the face. Was freaking, I think it's Mary, the pregnant lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Mary or Martha, one of those two.
I think it was either Mary or Martha. It started with an M. And
I
bro,
Yeah, I'll have to check.
when she's just like, "Be careful, don't go into the, be careful," and you were like, "You still there?" Doug is frozen.
I'll tell you when you're back if you can hear me.
I
Okay,
can.
I see
Okay,
you.
remember.
All right. So starting back, so yeah, it was Mary or Martha, and just go from there.
dude, it just gripped me because we walk in, she grabs us, and she's just saying stuff, and she's pregnant, and you're like, yeah, you'll notice she's very pregnant. And we're like, oh yeah, pregnant, yeah, like oh yeah, like wave circle of life, or just
Yeah.
don't think anything of it, and then you're like, you'll notice the tiredness in her face, and you're like giving us hints, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, she's pregnant. She's like tired or something, man. And then
She's a tired pregnant lady.
you're like, she looks like she's been like a long time. And I remember being like, oh,
yeah.
oh no. I remember being like, oh my God. And it just like kind of grounded me. It's like, oh, he wasn't kidding when he was like, no, time stopped. Not this like romanticized of, oh, time stopped and like nobody ages and like but things go on, and no, you're like, no, I'm gonna go dark.
Yeah. I was like, how can I make this already strange situation? How can I just make it not pleasant at all?
And I know that it's like you can also like people could nitpick, be like, oh, well then why shouldn't this work and this shouldn't work? And I was like, nah, all I could think is like you did the perfect amount of balancing for what does work and doesn't work. You can just explain it away with magic. Like why doesn't firelight technically, it takes a reaction that moves forward in time. It still happens, we still fight, we can still move. Technically time's still moving, but it's not moving. And I like how it's like aging and then other things, and then it's also like technically we shouldn't bleed because we're not like time's not moving, but nope, it's wounds don't heal. I like how the magic's very specific, you know what I mean? It's not just like overarching and it has to go to the physics of the law. No, it's like, no, it's magic. Like
there's rules to it. They're just very intricate and specific to whatever type of curse was placed.
I freaking think it's cool, and I remember thinking, oh, this is really messed up and really really weird. And then the kid being like, I'm looking at him like a kid, and he's like, "Mother, I'm 109. Leave me alone. I know."
Yeah.
He's like, "Go to your room," and he's like, really? I'm like, I'm a grown man.
Yeah, exactly. No, well, for sure. Well, I'm glad that hooked you guys. I'm really glad that we had Ben along for that particular session, because I mean, you guys have been the most constant players and everything like that, and so I'm so glad that you guys got to experience that like initial hook, because before then I think before then it started out as a pretty typical D&D.
Well, you had to set up the world. You had
to exactly
set up everything, and here's how it goes. And then we were like, let's step into the deep end, and you're like, yeah,
bring your floaties. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna get deep.
Yes. Cool. Well, I'm glad, and I, like I mentioned to you, I interviewed Ben yesterday, and we talked a bit about this and about his experience and everything like that. So I appreciate getting like the other points of view and stuff, because I'm happy with how it's gone so far. And granted, it's been like a month since we played because life happens and everything like that. It's still been I've been very proud of the experience I've had to share with you guys and everything. So let me think. So we talked about that, about NPC. I guess we'll kind of like continue to branch in this direction. But like, so according to the story, where it is so far, up to the most recent, I guess to the most recent session that we did play, both as Matthew and Jed right now.
Okay, you're back. As Matthew and Jed, what?
As both Matthew and Jed, from where we left off, like up till this point in the story, how are you feeling about where the plot's going, who you're about to meet, things that maybe you're wondering if they're going to come up, or just your thoughts kind of towards that?
So we'll start with Jed. So Jed thinks he's got it figured out.
Okay.
And I tried to think in Jed's,
yeah,
character. Jed thinks from all the information that he's been given, he knows that this knight is either a twin or a brother or some kind of something with Xander, right? So he knows there's history there. He'd like to know more.
Oh, the one you guys unmasked in the. Okay, yeah.
And it won't go down for some reason. Like I freaking burned the crap out of that guy, and he was just like,
you did. You roasted him, and I assure you, I did not cheat or anything with his stats. He is just really strong. So
cheated.
Yeah.
And, he just kept on coming, and I was like, all right, here we go. And then it was so he knows that that's going to branch off. Like that guy just wouldn't stop, and so that was one thing, and that he was thinking about. Two is we got to find Xander, even if, and this is Matthew talking a little bit.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Hope has and you don't have to put this in the video. Has what's his name? Has Jaden reached out to you?
Yeah. Surprisingly, he's actually been in contact a lot more recently. We've talked about his own personal life and everything like that, some stuff going on with him, and all that being said, he enthusiastically says he wants to keep playing and everything. He even called me the day before. He goes, "Hey, we still on for tomorrow?" And that being said, he didn't show up for that one, but yeah, I'll give him points for communication. And I told him in any case, I said you were always welcome. If you plan to join, just let me know. If you plan not to join, let me know. That's all I ask,
Yeah, no, I get you. All right,
yeah.
So I wonder where Xander is, because he's got the sword, and now I've realized this is something Jed's figured out. Is Jed's pieced together that, the chosen one holds the sword, and I passed that burden on to him, thinking that it was maybe something lighter, and then I realized that maybe I don't know. But Jed thinks that, like he might need to get the sword back because of the responsibility that it holds, and the fact that Xander's constantly getting knocked out and running away from the group and stealing. And so Jed's like,
some potential issues.
Jed's like, I made a mistake. But Jed's like, we'll get it back. It's no big, but we got to find Xander. That's something we got to do, because he got conked and zipped. But his dad apparently was looking for him and sent us on our way and said, we'll catch up. And then also going into the city, hopefully that's where Xander is, and then also, the king, he's got something around him. Something's going on. I know he's got an orb. We've got two, but maybe that's the one we need. But that's the other thing. Are there 3 orbs? There's 4. See, I knew there was 4. I kept telling myself there was 3, and I was like, so yeah. So we know where they all are and what we need to do. It's just, I'm excited that we're finally seeing this picture and it's all coming together. It's like, okay, I've got 2. There's only 2 left. I know where both of them are. One's literally in the picture with this guy, and he's like, ha, or we know that the king's got one, and then we also know that the big baddie, butthole's got one too. So it's like, all right, so we need to bulk up and then get this orb, and then figure out how to get this last one and break this daggone curse.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is something that Jed was very serious on. Everybody's talked to, and they're like, please break the curse. He's like, yeah, no, that's my goal. Cool. Like, I came here for an adventure, and it just kind of it slammed my face into the beach.
Yeah. So, hit you with a bit of a tidal wave, but you got it either way.
It was so he got where he needed to go, technically.
For sure. I mentioned to Ben when we were kind of in the same area of conversation that we are now. I told him that. Oh no, I'm losing my train of thought. Crap, what was it? Hold on, let me think about it. It'll come back to me. Wasn't that?
I'm helping.
I feel it, man. I feel it. You're helping. Don't poop yourself.
Oh no.
Well, I can't remember exactly what I was going to say. I'm sure I'll remember it in a minute. But we were talking about, like I said, being in the same conversation points of the story and entering into the Silver City and all that type of stuff. Um, is Jed more? There's two main bad guys so far that we know of, right? There's Caesar, which is in the castle, and then there's Eomake, the BBEG. Yeah. Um, which is Jed actually more intimidated by at this time?
The king.
Yeah.
Would you like to know why?
Please. Yes, absolutely.
Because there's a roadmap for the BBEG. There's a show up, press the A button, keep tapping it, and it explodes, which is smart. That's a smart thing. You laid it out there for your players. Guess what? We took the information, we wrote it down, we went, cool, I get what I got to do. I fumbled the bag a little bit, gave the sword to the wrong person. Sorry, Jaden. But, like, I'm like, dadgummit. Okay, but we know kind of. You still there?
Person at the wrong time,
Still there? You cut out.
Okay, you did too. I just said perhaps it was the right person just at the wrong time also.
Yeah, exactly. We needed to get on the same page. But the point is like you laid out a roadmap, and it's not like you're not feeding it to us. You were like, if we wouldn't have walked into that room, right? If we would have just been like, yeah, gold. Oh, you could have been like, and I think you did. You're like, there's a mural on the wall, and it looks kind of like this. We could have been like, okay, like whatever.
Yeah.
Moved on. But instead, we were like, let's pay attention. Let's actually ask questions. Let's investigate this. So it's not like you spoon fed us, but you wrote it in your story, and we took notice of it. I hope it's correct. I mean, we could get there, and he'd be like, ha, 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 that's a toothpick, And
very
so
possible.
It could be fun. No problems with that, right? But I feel more confident going up against freaking him than I do against this king who's got an orb who's like so obviously got this whole freaking city under his thumb somehow, and people go in and they don't come back. And that's what everybody's been telling us. Yeah, don't go there. And you're like, why? Well, people that go in that they never come back. Well, they die. Well, probably I don't know. They just never come back. And we don't go in to check on them. And it's like, oh. So, I mean, it could be like a orb of, yeah, you have to do what I tell you. And it could be like kill yourself, or it could be like you're now enslaved for eternity, or you're trapped.
Yeah.
It's a situation where I'm blind running in. I don't know the location. I don't know.
Fear of the unknown.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's just unknown. Where I've been, this whole campaign has been hyper focused on this guy in the mountain, this monster basically, and us trying to break this thing. And it just so happens that a piece of the puzzle that we need is in this other obscure area with this other antagonist. It just goes to show that there's just things that go. Like, I like how it's like, hey, things happen in the world. It's not like one bad guy and everybody else is just under the bad. It's like, no, there's like a little baby bad guy too. And look, these guys aren't very nice. And here's Peter Pan, and he's gonna fuck with you halfway through your journey. And also, you're gonna get stuck in this time loop. And it's like things are happening in the world other than just the big bad evil guy doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I found that interesting because a lot of the times, when people write their own stuff, and it's nothing on them, but not a whole lot's going on. Like the other group I'm playing with,
it's very linear.
Yeah, the other group I'm playing with, though, they do the same thing that you do. Like he's got this whole map, and this whole country is doing their own thing, and there's a battle over here, and there's stuff going on over here, and he basically was like, "What do you want to do?" But it's like I like it's the same thing here. I bet if I told you like I don't want to break the curse anymore, I just want to go start a goat farm, you'd be like, I don't think you should do that, but you can. And then we do it, and he'd be like, "You're murdered because a million people."
Very possibly.
You didn't break the curse. You know what I mean? But I know that there's consequences to my actions. A lot of times, DMs, when they write their own stuff, it's very linear. And when I say linear, I mean nothing else in the world is happening except for what you are doing, and you have to do what I tell you to do, and you have to move in this direction. And if you don't move in the direction, I'm just going to kill you. I'm not going to have a consequence to your action, which I guess killing you is a consequence. But
it is, but it's a very black and white one. It's just like federal. Okay, cool.
I feel like you would approach it differently. You wouldn't just kill us. You'd be like, I'll get you back on track, but it's not going to be fun, and it's going to add more crap.
Yeah. It's kind of more like a credit score with me, where it's just like okay, like you still have one, like you're still there, but being down here could really make it a lot harder for you, depending on how you
Yeah.
play at this point.
And
But
I feel like Jed and the party, like Jed and Daniel, are too hyper focused on getting this done. I like the little side stuff. Sorry, I'm getting really close to the camera. I like the little side stuff with, you know, like Daniel and this whole Daniel and Artie thing.
mhm.
Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah,
Artie.
yeah, it's already.
Where they're like dancing around the. Daniel's like, I've been sitting here. And by the way, I picked it. I love how Ben was like, you knew? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see the more recent TikTok I posted? Okay, it's so I feel like you'll appreciate it because you play the campaign, so you know the characters and stuff. But it's that same video of the conversation between Artie and Dan. Wait, 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 it's breaking up. You got me?
We're back.
Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, it's that same video, but it has cutscenes of Daniel's solo session when he actually got the job that he got.
Okay, yeah.
And so it actually cuts back and forth between how that happened and kind of what's actually going on.
It's just
So
it's very interesting because it's like it's very dynamic. It's not just yeah, we're all in this together. It's you got Artie.
yeah,
Artie over here is like, I like the group, but one of
yeah,
them think is onto me. And then Daniel's like the same way. He's like, I like the group and we're helping each other, but I've been sent here for a reason.
yeah, exactly. Well,
So,
and something I'm excited about, which I told you I was going to remember it, and you actually said a word that was exactly the word I needed to remember it, so I wrote it down. You said the word groundwork at one point, and that's like a big thing why I'm super excited for whenever we do start playing again, we enter in this new chapter. Just like I told Ben, I'm done laying groundwork. It's done.
oh yeah.
You guys have enough information about the world, about the history, as far as getting you guys started to pick up your own initiative in certain areas. Like I fed you guys enough history, enough about the world, how it operates, and about a bit of the social ties to where I'm done doing that as far as pushing it, or like trying to focus in on it. Now things are going to start happening. Like now it's going to be like, no, there's going to be chunks of bigger things thrown at you, and I'm super stoked about it. So yeah, I'm very excited because from here on out, it's definitely going to be a lot more like I genuinely don't really know too much of what's going to happen, or I can't even really guess what's going to happen, I should say. Because yeah, it's gonna get a little bit more of a wild ride. But I got one last question for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. In any order or to any level of remembrance for Jed, what are, or in your experience playing Jed, what are some personal highlights and lowlights, or some high points and low points in the story so far for Jed?
High points and low points.
Yeah. Whether that's victories and losses, whether that's successes, failures, emotional high points where you're very happy with the result of something, or an area that at the time had you stressed out or upset or down.
I've had quite a few
Mhm.
high, mostly high. There have been low points. Like
Yeah.
we've pretty much succeeded on almost. If no, I think we've succeeded almost every time. We've
Yeah.
pulled it out. We've squeaked by a few times, like especially with that last one where we're trying to figure out before they hang the Eric Crocker, not the Eric Crocker, he was a cockatoo.
Kenku.
A Kenku, yeah.
A cockatoo.
Cockatoo or something. Yeah, no. When they were gonna hang him, we squeaked by on that one, but we took care of the problem, which was very hard problem, by the way. That was very hard problem. He was a formidable opponent. He was hard to fight. It was good though. It was a very good fight.
I was happy with that fight. I thought it went really well.
But that was probably actually in like when I say a mid feeling. I don't mean like it was bad. It was greatly
Yeah.
written. It was greatly
Mhm.
executed. Greatly. It was fantastically executed. I was just mid because you're like, oh my gosh, that was so close. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I could have used
Yeah.
it. And it's one of those situations where you're like, dad gummit, like, oh, that was so close. That was too
Mhm.
close. And so it's like we got to be better. And then you're like
Yeah.
level up, and I'm like fireball. I'm like that would have finished it.
Yeah. I'm tired of
I jumped
that
out the window and be
fireball.
like, bitch. Just saying, but no, I wouldn't do that. But basically, like that was one. What was I gonna say? Um, Realizing what the ship was when we're getting the kid out,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy crap. And I was upstairs, and I like the voice acting you did with all the stuff in that video. That was
Thanks.
amazing. I love that video. And I was just like,
Thanks.
what? And then like, I was like, wait a second, I know what this is. This is insane. And then that was pretty good. That was pretty fun. And I don't know, just rolling with our goofiness and being like, you know what? You sure? I love the fact that you had consequences to actions too. That was a pretty fun high point, especially when we
Cool.
almost burned that bar down. Because
Yeah.
Daniel's like, hellish rebuke. Everything turns into fire on you, and you're like, fire. Okay, well,
Okay.
there's a lot of alcohol on the ground. It all bursts into flames, and I was like, fuck. It's like, so we're
Perfect.
like
Good.
fighting,
Good.
and then taking a bonus action and being like, I put out this fire. It's like, okay, you put out this little bit of fire. No,
Mhm.
it's gonna attack you. He misses. All right, I cast this. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on
There
right
was a
now.
lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very fun. And then the low points probably like nothing. There's nothing been in your campaign that's made me go like I'm bored or like I'm
Yeah.
tired or I'm done. It's the
Mhm.
low points are actually like written well. Where we
Okay.
walk into a school or the hospital or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and there's
Mhm.
dead babies everywhere, and it was spooky as crap. Right, and
Oh
we're
my
like,
God.
that was a low point, but it was a high point in like quality.
Yeah. No, of
It was
course.
a cool
Like for Jed and his experience though, for like
time.
low points though. Yeah.
Yeah, dark time. It was nuts. And then also I would say when we fought the circus people, and I was
Mhm.
like, maybe I can get this guy to change and just like chill out. And then he's like,
Mhm.
I don't like good men, and he stabbed me. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm
That
working
was
so hard here.
I I'm glad we record these because like I love the cinematic moments. They're so fun to go
It was
back
awesome.
and kind of relive and stuff.
That's another
Yeah.
thing I really like is it's all genuine. I listen to some
Mhm.
podcasts and some people, and this isn't any hate on them because I still listen to them and I
Yeah.
love them. I'm not gonna name any of them, but I listen to them sometimes and they feel very scripted. There's nothing
Yeah.
that's really real. It's just a person waiting for. It feels scripted when I listen to some of them sometimes.
Yeah.
Now maybe that's just because I haven't played or I'm a terrible role player. That's fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm not dogging on them.
Yeah.
It's just it's some of these clips that you're clipping and the things that we're recording in these moments. It's the first time where I've actually like wanted to role play and then felt like I'm
Mhm.
actually in it for once. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
that's because, and I really do think this is we don't focus, and it's kind of funny. And I'm sure there's people out there that are like, I don't like it because
There's
they don't
different
follow the
styles for
rules
everybody.
and they don't do the rules. And I'm like, that's fine. I play with another D&D group and we play with the rules and we do. It's fun. It's awesome. But I
Mhm.
feel like I can role play more on
Yeah.
this side of things because you're like, yeah, it explodes. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And then I actually like feel like I'm Jed right there going, holy crap, it exploded. Daniel, like, oh, did you see
Yeah.
that? You want to get into it. And then the creepy factor when you slip these like creepy crap that happens. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I actually see myself as Jed being like, oh,
Yeah.
great googly moogly. Like, what in the world? And
Yeah.
you're just, yeah. And then I can picture myself looking over at Daniel, and Daniel's just like, ugh,
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's fun.
Cool.
It's really fun.
Awesome.
Oh,
For a
you
second.
cut out again.
I'll probably freeze too. Okay, yep, it's good. I caught it, so I stopped talking at just the right time. But I'll tell you what, Ben had a few highlights himself, and a couple of them were definitely Jed moments because Jed's had some cool moments. You play him very, very well. Ben and I both love we both love the with the ship situation, the mimic ship, how you planted the explosive on the
Oh
mast
yeah.
optical thing. He thought that was super cool, and I've just yeah, I'm definitely role play heavy. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I love the moments that we go through, and then yeah, it's definitely not scripted. So it it's very genuine feelings whenever we uh, get into that mindset. And some days we're more into it than others, and that's absolutely just something that happens. But yeah, I guess in wrapping up, is there anything that are there any questions you have concerning the story or thoughts you have in going forward? Like maybe something you'd like to be like, hey, keep an eye out for this because I kind of want to do this, or just really any thoughts going forward. And obviously, you can ask me questions, and if I can answer, I will. And if I can't, I'll leave you with something besides just a plain old nothing.
Um, really, the only thing I can really think of is just that we have the opportunity to um, explore the city more. Like I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into it. It's been a bit. We've all been busy. I wasn't available yesterday. I apologize.
It's all right.
And
Yeah.
life happens, but we need to get back on it because I want to play. Like I've been waiting for this story like a lot. I've been very excited, and I haven't had the chance to get on. And I just, like I said,
Yeah.
I just got Fireball, and I don't remember the other spell I chose, but I'm sure it was something stupid like Magic Missile or something insane.
Something to
But
pack a bit of a punch, you
the
know.
point is I'd like Jed, which Jed has been a powerhouse, but I'd like Jed to be able to like pull his weight more, to be able to
Mhm.
help more, to be support in both putting damage down and not just like I don't want to. I don't think he has been, but not stealing kills or jumping in and doing. I'm not trying to do massive damage
Yeah.
or power game. I'm just saying I'd like to be able to help more. I see Daniel walk up and go
Yeah.
bam, 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 and I'm like, I can't help you because I've got three
Mhm.
spells that do damage, and the rest of them are all support. And you're basically I support you, and then you know, and then I'm having to try to put damage out, and then I'm out of spells. It's like I wish I had something
Yeah.
that did a lot of damage, and then I could support. So that's why, I took that. But I was also thinking about some other stuff, like
Mhm.
um, should I change up should I change up my class, like keep what I have right now, and then start multi-class, or I forgot what it's called, multi-classing.
Yeah.
I'm a noob. But like to a fighter or something, or start moving towards something to I don't even know. I was just
Yeah.
thinking about it. So there's that, and then also I'm excited to get into different enemies, and I don't mean like different enemies. I just mean like we're about to get into this whole different chapter of
Yeah.
thing. We're going to be fighting. It's really weird to fight people. We've been
Mhm.
fighting like monsters and kind of people and then like stuff, but then every time we've kind of fought people, like which we have a bunch. I'm not saying we haven't, but
Yeah.
like there
Mhm.
was a different ring to it when it's like we're fighting these circus guys who have been on this island for forever and
Yeah.
they haven't died and I just killed them. There's a weight to
Mhm.
that. I've just basically told an immortal, kind of, not really, not like a great immortality
Not
or
a natural immortality. Yeah.
no, not a natural immortality, and not like a heaven. You know what I mean? It's more of a
Mhm.
hell. You know,
Yeah.
but we're like ending that. So they like went like I think something that we all need to take in when we play this game, and I know it's just a game, but it's just funny. I get into it. Um, is that there's like the weight to it, the weight of like we're
Mhm.
ending people's lives, and we're actively trying to break the curse. So when we break the curse,
Yeah.
hopefully break the curse. Like the people that we end their lives, they never got to see that. They were living, they were in the curse, and that's all they knew until they died. And
Mhm.
it sucks to think about. It's like, would they be a good person? Would they have changed their ways? It's like probably not.
Now you never know though.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
thing though. That's what's going through Jed's head. So that is
Mhm.
that is the biggest takeaway of all of it, is that there are consequences of things that maybe you didn't even write. It's something that
Yeah.
I think Jed is thinking about. So even with this king, it's like, are we gonna have to, what are we gonna have to do? So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Awesome, man. I'm excited too, and I told Ben I'm just gonna be letting you guys know my schedule. I'll honestly I'll probably even send screenshots in the group text
Yeah,
like
do
that
it.
highlight my available days, because even if it's not on a weekend, I don't care. Like if it works for me, I want to do it.
Well,
Um,
even if we have to play, I don't want to do this, but if we have
Mhm.
to, if it gets too long, I'm talking like in the next 2 weeks, if it keeps going on past that and we still haven't
Mhm.
played, we need to play on a day for an hour or 2 hours just to
Yeah,
get
just
something
anything
going, to
for
talk,
sure.
to get the point is like, like all of our schedules are nuts now. Like yours is okay, not terrible because
Mhm.
yours is very set. Ben's is
Mine's
kind of
consistent. Yeah.
okay. Mine's insane.
Mhm.
My new schedule is insane. I work Saturdays now sometimes, and I work
Yeah.
Monday through Friday from when I start to when I finish. When my last job's done, I'm done, and that can be today, like when I was done at 3:40, or it can be like
Mhm.
some days when I'm done at like 7 o'clock.
I got you.
So it's a fight, but I'm
Yeah.
getting the swing of things in my own job and figuring it out. So I should be able to keep it on. Hopefully Sundays are good days. We can't play until like midnight on Sundays though
Yeah.
anymore. Like I absolutely can't anymore. I
Oh
could
no,
play till
neither
11.
can I.
I could play till like maybe 11. That's an
Mhm.
extra hour of sleep. And by 11, I mean like be done at 10:45 and off, and you know what I mean. So
Yes, like actually done with everything by 11.
but sometimes evening church gets out at like
Mhm.
7 because it starts at like 6:30, so 7. So start playing at like 7:45 and then
Mhm.
play to 11. Boom, that's 4. That's 3 hours and 25 minutes, whatever.
Yeah,
It's or 15, whatever. I'm not doing math.
for sure.
But the point is like we need to figure that out. Even if it's next Sunday, if it's not next Sunday, the Sunday after, I'll try to be
I
there
was
and I'll put it on
I was
the
just
calendar.
about to say, I think what I'm gonna do also do send out that
You cut out.
Okay, I'm back. Cool. I was gonna say, I think every Sunday night I can make it work, and the reason I think that is one Sunday one Sunday I'm gonna just have to make sure I get up at a good time the next morning because I've work, so I can't be up too late. The following Sunday will be on a flipped schedule, so I will have work that Sunday, but I'll have the next day off. And I get off of work on Sundays at 6:20 p.m. So it'd
It
pretty
takes
much
place.
be,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like right after work I come home, set up, and get going. But yeah, it's doable. So
Cool.
I will.
Well, I don't know about this next Sunday now that I think about it, but I'll talk to my wife and I'll get with you on that because Mother's Day is next Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
So it might not be a good day, but the Sunday after, definitely, I'm going to try to start making these Sundays evenings. And we need to plan in advance. Like when you told me, it's nothing on you. I know you told me in advance, but like when I say in advance, I mean like a week or like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because plans happen like that, and then the next thing I know,
Mhm.
and then I forget about it. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah, no
even if
worries. I will do that. But in the meantime, Matthew, thank you so much for letting me interview you.
heck yeah,
And as soon as we're off this call, I'm pretty sure Jaden's actually going to hop on. I'm going to be interviewing him. So
yeah,
this is going to be very interesting, seeing back to back kind of what y'all's individual experiences have been and stuff. But I miss you, buddy. Happy anniversary, by the way, for the D&D group.
oh yeah. Has it been a year?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's pretty good. Oh my goodness. Jaden's calling me. Just a second. Hey buddy, what's up?
Yo, you ready?
Well, I will be ready in just a moment. You want to say hi to Matthew?
What's Matthew doing?
I'm on, I'm on video
Hey,
chat with
Matthew.
him.
Oh, hey, buddy.
What's up?
He said, "What's up?" Yeah, I'm interviewing him, and we're just wrapping it up. So, yeah, Jaden, go away. I'll call you in a second.
I'm gonna join the call in a minute.
Okay, do it.
Hey, but call me back because my schedule's going now. So I don't know when I can get on.
I think you can, but okay, I'll let you know.
All right, cool.
Okay, bye. That being said, Jaden calls me at the weirdest times, but oh, my ears. But anywho's, as I was saying, yes, happy anniversary to the group and everything, and we still got to celebrate that somehow, even if it's a month from now or 2 months from now, whatever. We're still gonna celebrate it.
Heck yeah.
Do an in-person session. But thank you
excited.
again, Matthew. I miss you, buddy, and I hope you're doing well. Let's catch up again soon, okay?
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.